Today I was going to go ahead and do a review. I don't now just note this isn't going to be like an end all be all kind of review. You know, I've only got to one good thorough use on it, good and thorough, plus I have my intuition. But on the new V-Max Speed Feed, I have put out review videos of the V-Max so far, but like I've said, I didn't want to give a real review, one, just because I haven't used it as much, and two, because I've been waiting for the Speed Feed. And for those of you that play tournament style, I'm sure you know how important Speed Feeds are. But anyways, let's get on with it. This is what it comes in. Where the hell's the lid? I thought I put it in here. But anyways, this is what it comes in, your basic kind of Speed Feed thing. It's kind of nice, better than like an Exalt packaging. Exalt does have poor packaging, but they are very good Speed Feeds. And getting into that, that's why I really loved this Speed Feed when I saw it. If you look at it, it basically looks just like an Exalt. I mean, except, it's the things kind of curve a little bit, the teeth kind of curve. But it looks like an Exalt, and it pretty much is like an Exalt. In fact, I'd say the material it's made out of is even better, because this material doesn't bend in as easily as the Exalts. And I'm sure those of you know that the Exalts, the fingers, they don't really stay out for too long. But it does give good feeding, and it does stop the balls from going out for the most part. And that's why I love Exalts, I really do. But that's why I bought this one, because I thought it was going to be like it. And I definitely like the function with how it just kind of snaps on like a lid. That's definitely a nice function. And how easy it is to put on. There's just a little spring you push in here. I don't have a pen or anything to actually do it at the moment. So I'm not going to. It's not a big deal. And you just push it in, you just take it out and put it back in. Very simple. Very easy to install. In fact, even easier than a rotor. After a full day of playing, I have a few complaints. Alright? The main one is just really it's not too big. But if you see here, there's plenty of room for a lid. There's plenty of room for... Here's a freaking full-on lock lid with the lid closed. And it pretty much fits in there. I mean, granted it's a tight fit, but I mean it's a freaking lock lid with the lid closed. So, for those of you that don't know, these diet lock lids are huge pods if you can't tell. But anyways, this is a very recent loader, and even the rotor, when that came out, it was made to be coupled with the Speed Feed, and they knew what the demands of the market were. And this is even, a few years newer, so they should know what we need to expect. And so, there is a fairly decent sized mouth here. But with the Speed Feed, it just doesn't take advantage of it. You can't really tell maybe from pictures, but let me show you. This is my big complaint, and I'll show you with a few different pods, types of, mouths. Here's probably some of your nicer pods, maybe like your Reds. I think this one's like an Extreme Rage, but a lot of pods use this kind of style. If you see here, see how all the balls didn't go in? And see how long it took them to go in? It's because if you look here, let me shove them in here so I can show you. If you look here, I don't know if you can see that, the pod doesn't actually go into the Speed Feed. It doesn't go all the way in now. Granted, you can, push down a, look at that. It's like 2 or 3 fingers and get it in like that, but the paint spills. I mean, what? Why? It might not be you might not think of it as a big deal, but it was for me out there on the field, because when I go to reload, I shake this thing, and it took forever for it to load, and then on top of that, it spilled a lot of paint, and that's money going down the toilet right there. I don't really appreciate that. I waited forever for this damn thing to come out, and it looked good, but and this hopper has a wide mouth, but it doesn't take advantage of it. Just look, it doesn't, if you try to put it on there evenly, it gets stuck on these black things. There's these little black edges right around the fingers. This right here. It won't actually go in, it just sits on top of it. Now granted, like I said, I do like how it definitely holds the balls in better than the Exalt. Look at that. definitely holds them in very well. And it would feed nice if it was big enough for the pod. Let me go ahead and empty this, and I'll even show you. I have a couple different types of pods here, so you really can't argue. By the way, there's a little drop test for those of you that wanted to see it. Now this is, I'm sure there's a few of them, like the V-Loader uses them. I think this type, this is an Empire pod. I'm sure it's got like a few different places where you can hit it up with your thumb. I like these pods. And it's got the big mouth. These definitely don't work very well with these, but let me show you. And see, look, you saw how long that took? I mean, holy crap. And let me get that in there. And that was actually one of the better loads I've actually had with that pod. I mean, you have to be prepared to actually lose some of your balls and go down. Now, no, I'm obviously not on the field. I don't even have the hopper so much as on a gun. Imagine having to deal with that kind of crap out there on the field. You know, it's definitely not very cool, especially when, you know, speed feeds have been around long enough that you have some good examples. Now, I'll grab another pod here. This is probably like what most people use. This is just your average, you know, I don't want to say crappy pod because they work fine. Yep. So as you can see, there's always balls left on the top, even though this hopper can hold more. And see, this one does not fit either. And this is your average pod. You see, it doesn't go in. That time I actually went like this, but if you were in a game, that would not be something very good. This might not seem like a huge deal, but you know, maybe I'll go ahead and sometime I'll see about getting footage of me using this on the field, and you will see that this might not seem like a big deal, but it is when you're on the field. I know there's been speed feeds in the past where you've had to go ahead and actually, you know, only depress a certain amount of the speed feed. You're not supposed to put the whole pod in. But at this point in time, everybody likes just being able to shove their whole pod in, having it empty just like that, and you know, making it a lot easier with less paint spills and stuff. You know, this is the most recent hopper to come out, pretty much, so I don't see why we should even have this problem, you know? They've had examples to follow over the years. I don't know what the deal with that is, Valken. I'm not too happy about it, but, you know, maybe I'm hoping you guys will do some kind of revision where you guys can get rid of those black edges or something. Since I have it, I have a lock lid here. Yes, I know it has reballs, but still. See, it won't even load all the, let's load all of them in. Oh. This hopper is good with reballs though. Okay, as you can see, I have my rotor here, and I have the Exalt Speed Feed on there. And actually, you can see there's a lot of similarities in these speed feeds. The materials almost look identical. They're not. I actually like the material in this one a little bit better. It's a little bit stronger, and the fingers don't cave in. You can tell on this one the fingers are completely caved in for the most part. But I do like the material on this better, but you can see the size difference. We'll do the rotor first. Look at that. I mean, it's pretty much as fast as I can put it on and put it off. Bam, that simple. On top of the fact that, you know, I don't have to worry about, you know, the fact that it doesn't sit all the way on there, and it doesn't spill paint. Alright? I don't know if you want to time that. That was probably like, what, half a second? This will probably be double the time. But yeah, see, I did that, and it still has paintballs sitting on the top. As you can see, it probably took 2 to 3 times as long, plus you would have spilled paint, and just be more of a pain in the ass. You know, it's a little bit harder to, you know, try to keep your gun up and do that. And even if you do, you're one of those people that has to put your gun down when you reload. You know, you obviously want it to be as fast as you can, and that's not really helping. It's almost, I'd say it's probably faster with the lid. I wish they would maybe make this a little bit bigger, take advantage of the space that is here on the hopper. It took forever for this damn speed feed to come out. So I'm a little disappointed in the fact that it took forever, and this is one of the latest hoppers. They have many examples to look at, and they just really didn't come through with it. Thanks for watching.